Okay, so if you watched the first video, this is my 1968 Datsun Roadster, and I'm putting a dash cap on the car. Now, I spoke briefly about removing the dashboard and some of the connections that need to come off in order to get it out of the car. So, come on over here and let's take a look at some of these connections. Okay, you'll see right here, these cables, actually not this one, this cable and this cable. These are for your speedometer and your tachometer, and they screw onto the back of the instruments. You're going to have to take the entire steering column out of the car, which is actually pretty easy because there's just 4 bolts underneath the dashboard. You take out the bottom section of the dashboard, there's a few screws that go across, and you drop that, and in order to do that, you're actually also going to have to take the little knob off of your vent here that goes underneath, it sticks out underneath the dashboard, has a little T-handle. It's one screw, take that off, then you take the 4 bolts out, and you can actually, there's a connection for the ignition on the steering column that you'll have to remove also, but the whole steering column will actually slide out when you take the 4 bolts. Aside from these 4, there's 4 on the firewall that you'll need to remove, and the whole thing will just slide right out. You don't actually even have to remove the steering wheel to do that, although it's I usually remove the steering wheel so I can get underneath there a little bit easier. Aside from the tachometer and speedometer cables and the little vent things, up inside where your multimeter is in the dashboard, there is an oil line that actually screws onto the back of the instrument with this nut here, this keeper nut. And you're going to have to get up in there and unscrew that from the back of the instrument, because this is for your oil pressure on your multimeter. You'll need to unplug the connector for your windshield wiper motor. You'll need to unplug the connector here for the fan and the controls for the heating system. And you'll need to remove the choke from the center console piece, which comes out with 4 screws here. Once that's removed from that, the center console can come out. As well, you'll have to undo the radio connector. Once your center console is out, you can get to a lot of stuff a lot easier. This is the control for all the vents and the heating and cooling here in the car, in, out, and all that. There's a couple screws up underneath on the bottom of the dashboard that come out to allow this to come loose, and you'll have to take the little knobs off the ends of the levers. Essentially, that's about it. There is a line that goes up through the firewall over here that goes to the coil and some of the other parts in the engine compartment. But other than that, that's pretty much it. You'll have to work the connectors through the firewall to get them out. But once you've done that, it's pretty easy to get the whole dashboard out. Now, the screws that I was talking about where the dashboard is actually bolted to the car go into these little spots across the top here. There's 6 of them. And you can see how close they are to the windshield, but actually once you get that little thing in there and you can unscrew it on the top, you can take those screws out and the whole dashboard will come out without having to remove your windshield, which is a good thing, because if you don't want to spend the money on a brand new windshield rubber and having to deal with that whole mess, you can actually do it. So next we're going to go ahead and talk about fixing the dashboard, filling in the cracks, and what I'm going to use to fill the cracks in and smooth it out prior to putting the actual dash cap on. I may go into pulling the instruments out because I'm not sure if I want to do a complete restore on the dashboard itself, but we'll get to that in the next video.